Hi everyone, welcome back to the Accounting and Tax Podcast. My name is Host, a partner at the firm. Today we are diving into the key financial metric every business owner should know because your numbers doesn't lie and you need to know your numbers to run your business. Business owner need to know their KPIs or key financial key performance metric because numbers don't lie. They show exactly what's happening without any emotions. So if you read those numbers correctly, you can understand where you are bleeding cash or where you are profitable. So watch out those numbers. You can be growing in sales but losing money all the time. You cannot only watch the revenue, and remember, revenue is the outcome of the KPIs. They are not the KPI. You need to understand the underlying story in your revenue recognition. So you need to watch cost, margin, cash flow, and everything that's underneath of the outcome, which is revenue, in order to you can react. But if you only ignore the if you only focus on revenue and ignore all the metrics, you lose the story and you don't understand what's happening in your business. In my 10 years of being a fractional CFO, I think only like a handful of business they focus on their KPI, and majority of businesses they are focused on a day-to-day survival, and they are not have a quick pause to understand what's happening and what's their finance looks like. So it's gonna be a huge blind spot for business owners. It's really important to have a really good accountant, but you cannot just leave it to the accountants. Accountants, tax CPAs, bookkeeper, they are focused on the past and what's happening, and that's very important. But the fractional CFO and your business and business owners, by getting a data from past and the KPIs, they are looking forward and they get the number in real time and they can plan strategically for the future, not for the past. If you know your number, you can make the smart, faster, and accurate on-time decision. You know where to hire, you know when to cut expenses, you know when to push or pause. It's basically you're not reacting, you're strategizing if you know your number. The number one KPI that all the business owner needs to know is your cash flow. It tells you when you can pay your bills and when you collect your cash. Uh, it tells you when you can, if you can make your payroll, or are you able to invest in the growth. Profit is only a concept, but cash is a reality and is the king. So if you listen to the previous episodes, I mentioned cash all the time. Cash flow is real. You need to understand it, and cash is the king. Two KPIs that you need to understand, and they are different to each other, although they are sounds similar, is gross margin and net profit margin. Gross margin, it tells you how efficiently you are selling your product or your service, uh, but it doesn't tell you how efficient is your company as a whole. A net profit margin tells you the efficiency of your organization, because it includes all the expenses, all the salaries, all the overhead expenses that you might have, and these two numbers are telling two different stories and focusing on two different area of efficiency. Debt ratio is basically debt to equity ratio. It's basically tells you how risky is your business. If you're taking on too much debt without any current asset behind it, you're taking a huge risk, especially if your cash flow is going to suffer. So that's one of the numbers that you need to watch, because it tells you how risky your organization is. As I mentioned before, accountant and bookkeeper, they are creating the KPIs based on the past, but there are some leading KPIs that you need to track because you want to move forward in your business and time never goes back. So those KPI are customer acquisition cost, lifetime value of each customer, churn rates, revenue growth rates. These are great looking forward indicators that you need to kind of watch them with the help of your fractional CFO, so you know where you're headed. KPIs must be reviewed at least every month, except cash flow. You need to review your cash flow every week. Put it on your calendar every Monday morning or every Friday afternoon. Take a quick look at your cash flow projection. But all other KPIs, you need to look at them on the monthly basis. There are some KPIs that you need to look at on the quarterly basis, but the majority of the main KPIs monthly basis is enough. You need to treat your KPIs and metrics like the guardrails. It tells you where the road is narrow and when the road is expanding. So you can plan accordingly. If your margin are shrinking, that means you probably gonna dip in your cash reserve because you're, as I mentioned in my previous episode, uh, you might head to the emergency situation and you might need to dip in your cash reserve. So, and it's also if this road is expanding, when KPI gives you the great margin, then you understand, okay, this is time to scale. Maybe I need to invest on some areas. So basically, treat your KPIs like guardrails, and it helps you a lot. Again, as being a fractional CFO for 10 years, my advice to everyone is to don't lose focus and don't get overwhelmed. Just develop a 5, 7 key KPIs, create a dashboard. We are here to help. We as in Alamir CPAs and Associates, we have the template for most of the industries over the years, so we can help you to create those KPIs faster. But don't go for all the KPIs. Remember, clarity beats complexity. So make sure develop the 5, 7 key KPIs, have a dashboard, and focus on those. And as time pass, you might change the KPI, but don't increase your KPI tracking because you cannot track them. Combined with all of us, we have over 50 years of experience. Over the time, we create a template for every industry that we work with. So for us, it's just a plug and play. Feel free to reach out to us. We can create those KPIs really fast for you. For us, it's kind of a plug and play. But if you, as a business owner, wants to create a KPI from the scratch, it might take lots of your time, and you want those time spend your time on growing business instead of developing a boring KPI dashboard. If after watching this episode you understand you are not tracking anything, just start small. Start by monthly gross profit, monthly net profit, cash flow, basic spreadsheet, nothing fancy, but just get some visibility over your numbers, and make sure your numbers are accurate. Make sure your book are reconcile and everything. If your CFO look at your number, make sure we are not looking at your inaccurate book. Remember, garbage in, garbage out. Account receivable is part of your cash conversion cycle. It's actually the main factor of the formula. So if you don't track your collection cycle, you're gonna have the problem down the road. As I mentioned, the profit is a concept on the paper, but cash is the king. So if you're providing a service or selling a product and wait for a customer to pay you 90 days, 100 days, on paper you made money, but in your bank account you have a zero cash in your bank account. So it's very important to shorten the cash conversion cycle. Track your number, make sure you collect all your receivable within the 30 days. There are software out there that it can help you remind your customer to pay you on time or have the credit card on file, so you can charge a credit card on due dates. But this is one of the numbers you cannot let it go. And if you loosen up on your AR collection, you're gonna be in trouble. If you want to only focus on one metrics, and the one metric you should know by heart is cash, cash, cash. I cannot emphasize, cash is the king. Your cash projection and your cash forecasting is a bloodline of your business. You need to know that number in the heartbeats. So that's the number you need to review every week. Cash in by that I mean the cash in the bank account, but the most important is your cash cycle, cash conversion cycle, and your cash projection. All right, my friend. Today I talk about the KPIs. I do understand these KPIs might be confusing. As I mentioned, we work with all the industries. We have templates. feel free to call us, send us an email at helpdesk@alamircpas.com. We can look at your number, create a dashboard for you, so you don't need to worry and just focus on running your business. It means a word to us if you share this podcast with your fellow friends. Drop a comment, like and subscribe, and catch you next time.